Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Breaking news. Seems like Israel is just about to do something big in Lebanon. I have with me here my brother from another mother, Khalifa from Israel, from the nearby village of Dalet el Carmel. Me and Khalifa are going to jump in right now into the middle of things. The IDF have just sent a message to Lebanon, to the citizens of Dahiyya, to get out of there immediately. For those who don't know, it's a big province in Beirut. It's a very big area. We're talking about, do you know how many people live there?
A couple of hundred, like tens of thousands of people.
Tens of
It's
thousands of people.
it is a large, like it's four neighborhoods, but it contains. Uh, I think they above 100,000 people or so, something like that.
Wow. As you can see here, so this is Beirut district and this is the Dahiyya
Dahya.
district, Dahya district. It's relatively a large area in Beirut. We're kind of in the province of Beirut, and
That's
the
the
idea.
meaning of the name. Sorry to jump in, but I
Mhm.
want to note something. First of all, like what is this Dahya places? Because the Shia people in Lebanon, who are the base of Hezbollah, they always think of themselves like, in Arabic they call themselves al mustadafin, people that they are class B people, and there's some kind of unwritten rule that the north part of a city, of a certain city, will be much richer than the southern part. If you'll take, I don't know, Tel Aviv, north of Tel Aviv, south of Tel Aviv. So it is also in Lebanon. So the place they are sitting is other place south to Beirut until Beirut airport, which like it's, and you can see by the images, it's like the less appealing place or part in Beirut.
hmm Actually, let's jump right in and show you a message from a Lebanese journalist who is urging the people of that province to leave that area immediately, and he even ends up bursting in tears in the end. That will help you understand what is going right now in the head of many Lebanese.
الآن يتعلق بالضاحية الجنوبية إخلاء تام للضاحية يجب أن يحصل. نقول للمواطنين في الضاحية غادروا، ستعودوا في وقت لاحق، ولكن غادروا في هذه المرة حفاظا على أرواحكم، ثم سنكون لنا عودة مجددا جميعنا إلى الضاحية بعد انتهاء هذه الفترة. الأمر الآن.
This is what happens, Khalifa, when Israel starts speaking the language of the Arab men, power and respect. Look what's happening. He's standing there crying. They're not anymore saying, "Yeah, let's see you guys," because they're way, way weaker than us. Israel is way stronger. But for so long, they were shooting rockets at us and threatening to kill us and burning pictures of America and of Israel and death to America, death to Israel. Now, a bunch of idiots on camels that barely, literally, Israel just pressed a button and wiped half of them out. Like, that's how pathetic they were. Hezbollah and Iran. And now America and Israel are just showing them how we are living in the future, and they're like in a way that they couldn't even imagine. You are a Shia, some dumb Sunnah sitting there believing the stories of your Imam. Yes, we're gonna kill America, we're gonna, and you're so literally so stupid that you actually believe it. And I don't blame you, because your uncle is as stupid as you are, and your cousin, and they all tell you the same story. And then all of a sudden your bubble burst, and you see American fighters and fighter jets, USA bombers, Delta Force, who knows what coming on you, you know, aircraft carriers coming in just in one day. They take the head, Khomeini, just take him like that. Nasrallah took him like that. All of them, just like that. Like, okay, khalas, boom. So I
Well,
think they're getting shocked. So that's why he's crying. He's standing there like, it's overwhelming. Up until 2 years ago, they really believed that they are way stronger than Israel and that they're going to come and bathe in the blood of Jews in streets of Jerusalem. And now they're waking up to a whole new reality. What do you think about that, Khalifa?
Well, I have few things to say. First of all, I checked now with ChatGPT. It seems to be hundreds of thousands of people living in Dahia, or closer to 1 million people. So
That's what
it
I thought.
is a large place. I first didn't. I underestimated the numbers. That's first. Second of all, I want to draw your attention to the brilliant move that the Israeli IDF did. Because, once Israeli IDF took Khomeini at the first, uh, how you say, Makkah, the third,
First strike,
first
first blow
strike,
of the
the
war.
strike,
Yeah.
strike. That's the word that I was looking for. So once Israel took Khomeini on the first strike, I was thinking like, why Israel would do that? Like, think of it. He's the head of a country. It's an assassination of a head
Hmm.
of a country. Like, legally in the international law, there's a reason why Israel did it and not the US, because the US couldn't do that, if you know what I mean, because they have all sort of obligation with the Congress, with the Senate. So Israel had to do it. That's first. But I think that, knowing what we know from the earlier 12 days war, that Israel infiltrated so deep in the Iranian system, like, if I was, the chief of staff, I would say I will keep Khomeini to the end, because I want him to see how everything collapses around him. Why
No,
was it?
that's
No,
not
no,
strategically smart.
go with me for a
Okay,
second.
okay, I'm with you.
Why would you do it on the first strike? But it doesn't, it doesn't appeal so much. And the answer to this question I got between Sunday and Monday. In early days of Monday, when Hezbollah actually attacked Israel. So basically, what the Israeli did, they put Hezbollah in a position that they must uh, respond to the assassination. And
Hmm.
once they did, and they did, like, they threw a bullshit 6 rockets, and they thought somehow that won't steer the waters too much, but Israel just obliterated, like, they attacked them so viciously. And now they evacuated the whole south of Lebanon and the whole Dahia. It's basically, now Lebanon is a complete mayhem. It's not a good place to be a Shia.
Hmm.
It's
Well,
not a good day to be a Shia.
I tell you what, Khalifa. I think that Israel is now finally speaking the language of the Arab men. Israel is speaking power and respect. And look what happened. Everybody's following suit. And Israel is finally putting all these savages around us to the right standard, which means shoot at us, we'll destroy you. Kill our children, we'll wipe you out. That's how it should be. Because let's be honest, it's not good to shoot at people. It's not good to kill children. So you put a very clear standard. So I think to Lebanon, the message is sending very clear. And that's why they're panicking also. That's it. Israel is not playing games anymore. And I think also Israel is right now working with America clearly on really Shiite extremist red wedding. They want to clean the house. They started with Khomeini, beginning of the war. Beginning, him out, all of his general out. Now they need to go and finish with Hezbollah. And what I hope is that Lebanon will join. I really hope that Lebanon will show a commitment to finally get rid of radical Islam, because if they won't, then they would live in this shitty situation that they're living in for years to come. There is nothing good about being racist. There's nothing good about being a murderous terrorist. There's nothing good about being radical Muslim. It doesn't do good to you. And if Lebanon doesn't shake it off from her, it will just literally stay one of the most miserable countries in the world and would just perish, be remembered. One day was a good one. So Israel now is sending a very clear message that is terrifying the Lebanese. Get out of there right now. And I've seen also, what's the name of this guy that speaks Arabic? Dir'i,
Avichai Adere.
Avichai Dir'i. I think he's the most famous man in the Arab world right now. if
Yeah,
he if he quits, listen, when he gets out of the army, I was joking with my friend here. He should open an YouTube review channel where he review products in Arabic. هذا ولك هذا حي الله. ايوه فرجيني هذا. He's gonna have a great business. Like everybody knows him. Or Pinui Binui. He should go to Pinui Binui.
yeah, he's the king of the Middle East, no doubt about it.
But anyway, he just sent a message clearly: get out of there right now. Don't even mistakenly go there. Israel is going to strike there. And I feel like now the Arabs are learning a message, because I tell you what happened. Khalifa, be with me. This is a good one. For too long, the Muslim radical countries around Israel had this idea that they can threaten Israel, that they can burn Israeli flags and American flags, and then they can shoot as much missiles and rockets they want on Israel, and Israel will always retaliate back in a very, very composed way and stop. So I think they had the same mindset with the kidnaps in October 7. Okay, we did that. Israel is going to do some noise and then stop. But I think Israel saying, no, 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 no. We got back all of our hostages, but Habibi, we're starting. We're just starting now. You think we forgot? We are going to make sure that there is literally no chance ever again for this to happen. And if that means killing them all, then that means killing every single terrorist in the Middle East. And I think this is how you speak the language of the Arab man. You go after
True.
every single one of them and you hunt them until the ends of the earth. If Israel does that, you'll see a change. If they stop halfway, it's going to repeat itself.
No, no, no. I think there's like what you just said is correct. I think there's a certain change in the mindset of the Israelis, but there is another layer for it because last year Hezbollah basically signed on an agreement that basically say they agreed on disarmament. They agreed that they are not gonna keep their army branch. They're gonna stay as a political party, and in my opinion, Israel, had good faith in the Lebanese state. They wanted the opportunity that Lebanon will have the opportunity to build their own nation because Israel doesn't want to occupy all Lebanon. They want a sovereign country that doesn't have militias and things like that. So Israel said basically, we're doing 90% of the job here. We're keeping the right to kill anybody we want and to attack and to completely rule the airspace of Lebanon and all that. But we want to see how the Lebanese state is gonna disarm Hezbollah. And what Lebanon did is the same old Middle Eastern bargain. They kept selling bullshit and basically buying some time. And Israel didn't like that. So
Mhm.
what they did now, they said, okay, we gave you a decent chance. We wanted to have it in a good way, but now there is no good way. We're gonna just blew you up. And this is what we are seeing now. Like they evacuated the whole south of Lebanon. They are bombing like they never seen. Like no jokes anymore. We are done with the monkey business. That's what Israel just did because this is what they tried to do. Both Iranian and Hezbollah basically tried to buy time, and it was it was so draining. That was bullshit act.
I tell you what, Lebanon used to be Christian nation. When it was a Christian nation, it was peaceful and beautiful. Lebanon became Muslim and very stupid, and now we're seeing what we're seeing. It's just very clear. Same like any other country that was used to be Christian and got conquered by Islam, it went backwards. It went backwards in any possible way. It doesn't seem to actually progress anyone forward. So I don't know why they even call it futuh in Islam. It's not futuh to anything. If anything, you just bring in darkness. Now, Lebanon, to my disappointment, just like you said, Israel did 98% of the job. Israel did 98% of the job to basically save Syria from Assad. What did they do? Make it a worse terrorist state. Israel made 98% of the job to give Lebanon, the Christians and the moderate ones there, a chance to rebuild their country. What are they doing? Talking all around, yada, yada, yada. Now, I 100% agree with you. I think Israel is coming to the point where they said, Khalas, there's no more hostages, guys, but we're not done. We're going to go and we're going to reshape the Middle East to make sure the October 7th doesn't happen. And who's going to benefit from that? Everyone that is peaceful. Everyone, minorities, first of all, they're going to benefit from that. The Iranian people are going to benefit from that. In Iran right now, we saw they took, I think they, you keep hearing all the time, Bibi and Trump and Rubio and others saying that we have just only started. What you saw is not the biggest thing. Like, I think they have literally bigger steps ahead that are about to happen now. You know, Israel and America do not start wars just because someone spilled a glass of water in their face or someone pushed them in a restaurant or someone talked not nice to their wife in the street. It's not how they work. They plan it. They use the best generals in the world, the best spy agencies in the world, the best chat GBT and AI, Planeteer or whatever. They do everything they can. So I'm pretty sure they have several steps ahead, and we're still looking for something really big to come. You heard about the pilot, the Israeli pilot that actually said, with his back to the camera, that when he came back to Israel, and he was rearming his airplane to go back. He was one of the commanders. He came and he said, "We have killed thousands of their soldiers. Thousands."
Yeah, they're
Israeli Air
completely
Force has been
dominating.
flying around, yeah, and killing thousands of the IRCG. Thousands. They took down the head of it. I've seen videos of Iranian officers running in the streets with his wife that dressed like a garbage bin, going, "Allahu Akbar," and just shoving her to a car, running away, and everybody's cursing him. They are falling apart. They are breaking down. And now is the best time to crush completely Hezbollah. And I think if Lebanon doesn't follow suit, then Israel will invade and will flatten Lebanon wherever is needed and pluck them out of the streets. Unless the Lebanese want to get rid of radical Islam, then they should do that. But one way or another, I think we're not going to let this stay. And I really hope that we're not going to let this stay, because that is the only way. The only way to purge the Middle East from radical Islam is to go crusaders on them. Go crusaders on them. Go literally chase every single one of them and just crush them until the ends. That's the only way. They are in a holy war with us. They want to come and kill us because they believe that God tells them so. You need to go and basically crush that holy war and get it out of their system.
Yeah, well, and this is the brilliance of what Israel just did. Like, let's put aside the miracle of a small country fighting a country that is much larger. Like, there are 90 millions, 2,000 kilometers away, that they've been building their forces and power and firepower for so long. And Israel basically is fighting them, completely dominating their airspace, and we here living a decent life, I must have to say. But like, we have sirens between once in a while, but the stock markets are soaring and everything is going up, and that's
Yeah.
a miracle.
Let
And
me tell you
I
something
just
about that. Sorry.
let me
Go
just
ahead. Go
finish
ahead.
the thing, because Israel now just checkmate the people who invented checkmate. That's the crazy thing about it, because
In Purim.
the- yeah, what you just said, it's very obvious for me and you, but states doesn't maneuver this way. They need, casus belli, a reason why to open fire. Now you have the whole world is backing Israel because they see Hezbollah firing on Israel like an act of war. This is why you have no demonstration saying, hey, well, you are evacuating millions of people, because Hezbollah did it. And the people in Lebanon actually had it with Hezbollah, and they are kicking them off because you brought this mayhem. We all told you, and Israel did it nice and easy. They sent messages. They said, do not intervene. It's between us and Iran. But they killed Khamenei.
Khomeini.
No,
Khomeini.
no,
No,
Khamenei.
Khomeini. Is that Khomeini? You know
Lama?
why Khomeini? Because he's a
Why?
brownie. He wears brownie pants. He's shitting his pants right now. So he wears brown.
Not,
That's why he wears a brown outfit to hide his
he,
shit. So I call him
he,
Khomeini, not Khomeini.
no, Khomeini was the previous one, and they
Both of
all,
them.
you know, الكخ أخو الخرا والريحة واحدة. It's Pupu and shit are brothers, and they both smell the same. So basically, Khomeini, Khamenei, it's all the same shenanigans.
All brownies. Yeah.
But this is why they killed the supreme leader on the opening strike, and that's what amazing about it. They basically proved that Hezbollah is not a Lebanese party; they are Iranian, and they do what Iranians say tell them to do. That's first. And the second thing, because it is their spiritual leader, they knew that according to their thinking, they must do something about it, and then they somehow invited Israel, come and blew us away and give the final
Hmm.
knockdown. And this is what we are doing now. And it is amazing. It is
No,
like
it's amazing,
absolutely
man.
amazing.
It's mind blowing. And you were mentioning something before about how in Israel people are, kind of living their life. I have a dear friend who's actually stuck with me right now here in Europe because he was on a party with some friends of him. Some friend was getting married, so they came to see him, and they got stuck. They can't get back to Israel because of the flights. And his wife is super worried for him back home. So for his wife, just to let you know, he's doing great. We're feeding him well, and he's gonna probably kill me for saying that, but I might have or might have not seen him doing the dishes. So just putting it out there. Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm denying all allegations. But anyway, he was telling me that one of the reasons that he really want to go back to Israel is because his wife is getting married. And you know what's her biggest concern?
His wife is getting married?
Not his wife, his sister. Sorry,
Okay.
that would be very awkward. His sister is getting married, and you know what's
Okay.
the biggest concern right now
Okay.
is if the government doesn't put a law that you're not allowed to gather in public places, the insurance company will not give them back the money if they cancel the wedding. So that sucks. So they're actually waiting to see, should we cancel, should we not? So these are the worries that Israelis right now are dealing during this war. Should I
And
cancel the
basically,
wedding? Should I not?
starting from tomorrow, the orders from Pikud Oref, they are changing. That now gathering up to 50 people could happen, and the emergency state that we've been for the last week is now decreasing a bit by bit. And they used to fire, I don't know, tens of rockets on the first day, and now they are firing a rocket between once in a while. So we completely dominating them, and we will keep doing so, because this regime, the Iranian regime, is a pure evil, and it's pure evil for Iranian. Like, if we put it from the perspective of the Iranians, in
Mm-hmm.
1979, $1 would cost seven Iranian riyals. Seven. Do you know how much dollar costs now in reals?
I think unlimited. I think the real went to zero, right? Like,
It's 1.8 million prior to the strike that Israel put. It's devaluated in 99.9 in a country that it's rich in oil, the third in the world in reserves, the second in gas, rich in uranium, and it's a huge, huge, beautiful country. And they basically sucked life out of it. They don't even have water, and they have serious crisis, and now
mhm.
Israel is just freeing them, and this is the
Yeah.
good that Israel is putting here.
Once you go woke, you go broke. Once you go Muslim Brotherhood, you go broke. It's the same thing, man. All those who voted for Mumdani, or I don't know what, guys, Muslim Brotherhood is one of the worst things. Ask the people in Iran. It literally sucked the life out of their country. It like a parasite that came and destroyed their country from within, and now they're dying in the streets fighting to get out of it. And they would not have been able to get out of it if it wasn't for the help of America and the US and external forces. But speaking of that, have you seen these? I'm sorry to say it because I have really good British friends, but have you seen these cowards, the UK? What a pathetic country they have become. Like literally, they had someone, Iran shot a missile, a drone at their base in Cyprus, and they just have nothing to do. They can't do anything. They're not sending their troops. They're not sending. Oh, we allowed America to operate from our field. Like seriously, that's how when Europe become unable to defend itself, unwilling to go to actually stand up, that's it. They're lost. And I tell you what, the UK is completely lost because if the UK would have dared right now to rise up and go and face a country that shot a missile at them, you know what would happen to them? They will have riots from inside. Their country will be burned from inside. Why? Because Islam have taken over the UK. They got compromised. Same thing with
Yeah.
Germany. Germany is in a point right now that very soon, when a war will come at their doorstep, they won't be able to fight back because they got compromised. Because they have people inside them that are not loyal to them, that don't want their way of life. They actually want to take them from the inside. They're saying it. They're literally saying it in the streets. You know how many interviews I've seen with people in Germany saying, "We're gonna come, we're gonna kill all of you. We're gonna take your women." They're saying it in Arabic in the streets, sometimes even in English. They tell it to the Germans because they couldn't care less, and they're not doing anything about it. The only ones that still have some kind of a backbone is Israel, is America, Finland, Japan. Japan, they're not playing games.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen the video that they made about immigration?
No, but I've seen the most fun, like the funniest video, like a propaganda minister in Iran, and he said, "We invested $80 million for 10 years to try to convert people to Shia in Japan, and we basically managed to convert one person, and he was a foreigner, he wasn't Japanese." Oh
Oh
my God.
man. Oh,
Those
listen,
the
listen, man.
Japanese. I love that.
Japan doesn't play game. It doesn't. I think some political party made a video there. It would have never been legal in any country. It shows like a person in Africa who hears about Japan and he goes like "Booga, booga, 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 booga," and he calls his friends, and that's how he's doing the video. Sorry, I'm not trying to offend anyone. And he jumps on a boat and he goes to Japan, and then he sees that it's good, so he sent pictures to his other friends in Africa, and they go like, "Uru, uru, uru, uru," and they jump on a boat and they come, and then they marry a Japanese woman, and then fast forward and they see suddenly that all of Japan became black, and the flowers start withering. Then they finish like that. They're like, "What the heck?" This is like, that's why we don't want immigration. Arigato gozaimasu. And I was like, wow, they like took it like a few steps ahead. Let me find the video for you. Let me find. I think people are gonna think that I'm like racist. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna find the
probably
video
are.
for you.
We all are in a certain way. And, this woke thing is, I think, like you mentioned the UK. First of all, I don't think that it is all UK. It is the current government or the ruling part of the UK, but there is some awakening happen. Tommy Robinson and all the movement that they are somehow bringing back the nationalist in the UK, and it used to be an empire. People used to say that it is the empire that the sun never sets in it because they used to be so big, and now they became a nation that lost the will of life. you know when a shitty country like Iran is attacking you in Cyprus, and you basically yielding down and say, yeah, okay, you can kill our soldiers. What kind of message are you sending to your own people? Like, why me as a British man would volunteer to the army if you don't respect my life or my property or my
Mhm.
national symbols. So
No, no,
it
the
is
UK,
it is
the
shitty
UK have
times.
became, with all due respect, and I have a lot of respect for the people in the UK that are standing up, and I have some of them, my friends, are talking to me about it, but it's not enough. They're not even remotely close to be enough. And not only that, the government is oppressing them. So, the government is censoring them, is taking their devices. I got invited to a podcast in the UK twice already, and I said no. Like literally, they asked me, "Would you like to come here?" And I said, "Sorry, guys, I'm not coming. Let's do it on Zoom." And they asked me why. I says, "Because I don't want to be arrested in the airport. I don't want some random, I don't know, a John to go right now and start going through my phone. Oh, you tweeted against the Muslim Brotherhood. You are hate crime. We're gonna like I don't need this nonsense. Do
And
I
you
need
know the
some
fact.
idiots to come and lecture me about the Middle East? People from the UK that have no idea what they're talking about. So I feel like the UK is like free fall right now into the ground, and I don't think that people there are standing enough. I think they're like
And is
not even close.
the sad fact that their situation is better than France, just to say the least.
Yeah, France is
And
gone.
to have a mayors, city mayors that don't speak English, that's that idea really blows my mind. Like, what happened with you people?
Yeah, yeah, they completely lost it. Oh, here's the video.
Ukestan, Ukestan is a is a good one.
Oh my God, here's the video. Here's a video about Japan. I'm gonna show you now, so people don't think Yukistan. So people don't think that I'm being racist here. It's literally what they've been showing in Japan, guys. To as far as I know. So let me just don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Here we go. Here we go.
Let's see.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm dying to know what they're writing.
What the script for this AI video? Yeah,
Yeah.
for what they're writing. Yeah. Look at this.
Oh my god.
Japan is changing shape. Here's the thing, laugh, laugh. In the end of the day, that's a country that care about its people. That's a country that care about its identity. That's a country that's saying, no, no, we're Japanese. We're proud of it. We have a culture here that has been here for thousands of years, and we want to maintain it. We're not gonna have it all lost right now because some woke Samantha with the purple hair is gonna tell us that it's wrong that we're not allowing Muslim migrants and I don't know what to come to our country. No, I
Well,
think that is very, very important that countries take care of themselves.
do
With
you know?
all due respect.
Do you remember the fact that they all agreed that they are not gonna use firearms? What happened with Japan is, it's a country that is moved by dignity and fighting in honor. And, for them, once they got introduced to firearms, for them it was such a sneaky and bitch ass move. Like, you can hide
Yeah.
in the bushes and shoot someone from far, there's no dignity in it. So after
Hmm.
they had like a huge fights, they closed the state and they said, we all gonna throw away our arms and get back to swords. And they kept it for almost prior to the Second World War. They kept themselves locked. They are isolates. Well,
Hmm.
this is their move, and I deeply respect that. This is why we all respect Japan. There's an identity in Japan, and that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and imagine they would lose that identity. Imagine they would become like Germany or like the UK or Spain. What a shame. I want to travel the world. I want to go to Japan because I want to meet Japanese people and I want to eat their food and I want to get to know their culture and I want to get impressed by their art, by their philosophy. I want to go to Spain so I can learn about the Spanish culture. I want to go to Uganda so I can learn about the Ugandans. I don't want to go to New York, to London to learn about the Middle East. I don't want to go to Germany to eat Middle Eastern food. Like that's how it's becoming. They literally have became nations that can no longer exist because they're not willing to stand for themselves, and they're not willing. The best example is the UK. When you get a country like Pakistan or I don't know what that brings you migrants, and these migrants start violating your daughters in, like, grooming gangs, and your men don't rise up and chase them with axes, like literally crusader style with axes, and when they're running, throw that in his back and run and grab the axe and just start chasing them. You came here to touch our daughters. So if a nation is not willing to stand up and defend their children and their daughters from, we're talking about sexual crimes of adults on children, then that nation have no future. No future.
Yeah.
One thing about Israel that I really, really respect is, even now, my friends who are stuck in Europe, they're trying to go back to the country. During war, when the flight opened, they were unable to book flights because by the time they were going to the website, the seat was taken. The seat was taken. Israel is one of the only nations that when they're at war, more people want to go back to the country because they
Of
believe, this is my country. This is my people. This is my children. This is my land. I want to defend it. I want to fight it. I'm not going to let anyone take it from me. And I think that is non-existent in most of Europe. I
I
won't say
think
all
this
of
is
it.
this is why, by the way, I think the US needs Israel to fight along with her, because somehow the US got involved in a lot of wars, but somehow it forgot how to win. And now fighting with Israel, a state that, you know, their all being is based on winning, because you don't have other choice. It's
Hmm.
either win or not exist. It's one of those choices. And this is why Israel is extremely helpful for the US, because back from the Korea days in the 50s, Vietnam, and all the Cold War and things like that, they somehow lost the appetite for winning, and now they are getting back and getting back hard, and they are doing it the US style in the Iran. I don't I wouldn't be want to be an IRGC soldier right now, to
But that
put
is how
that level.
stupid they are. That's why we always say that Islam always punch above its weight class. Like, you spend the last 46 years chanting death to America, death to Israel, we're gonna kill you all, we're gonna bathe in your blood, and now they come to you. What do you think is gonna happen? These are literally the most deadliest, most efficient militaries on the face of this earth. And their air forces and the CIA. So you got right now Team CIA, Team Mossad on your back. You got right now the Israeli Air Force, the American Air Force, the most lethal, dangerous, devastating air forces in the world. You got the special forces from both countries right now coming from you. You got the cyber from both countries right now coming at you. And you see, they literally just obliterated them in such a way. And it's literally, it's sending a message to China, to Russia, to all these countries when they're watching what they're watching right now, an Olympic level of military execution. That's what Israeli Air Force and the American Air Force are showing everyone, and the intelligence, Shmone Matayin, the Mossad, the CIA, and everything. Olympic level of intelligence and of precision and of everything. And I think the world is realizing that Team America and Team Israel is probably the most dangerous combination on the face of this earth. No country would ever want to be in the end of that barrel. And I really, really don't feel bad for the Iranian regime right now, because they literally brought on them the worst enemy they can ever bring. And Israel came and said, gloves off. And I used to always say that, because when I was an officer in the IDF, we used to learn a lot about the power of the IDF and the capabilities. And in most wars until now, the IDF used usually 10, 20, 30% of its capabilities. Like, the IDF never really had the chance to use all of his strength, because it's in Gaza, it's in Ramallah, it's in Lebanon, human shields. Now, gloves off. They said gloves off, and we're seeing it. Our pilots are going around and just butchering them in the thousands, making the desert their grave. And they should not stop until every single one of them. These are perverts, these are misogynist torturers, these are the worst, vile kind of human beings, and anyone who supports them is as bad as they are. So all these people in New York right now, all these woke numbskulls that are going around, they were never to be seen when all the women in Iran were suffering, when they had acid thrown in their face. Not you didn't hear a thing from them, but now all of a sudden they're all out there. These people are also vile. These people are dangerous and vile. I have no respect for them. No
They
respect.
are all puppets for the Muslim Brotherhood. We all know how the Muslim Brotherhood just paid for the right people for so long in the US to create such phenomena, and the execution of what's happening in Iran, it is absolutely amazing. I wrote today in my Telegram channel. I thought like what what I said is, it's only like 10 million people in Israel. It's not that much. And every second guy you speak with, he's, I don't know, special forces guy that know, even business owner. This
Mhm.
year,
A
Wiz
taxi driver who's
company,
a tank commander who can drive a tank.
a Wiz company. It is an Israeli startup who sold to Google in $33 billion. So $33 billion, I don't know, it's a GDP of a local state here in the area. That's first. But I try to imagine, how many workers did they have? 200, 300? How many of those had like 300 days in the reserves fighting in Gaza while they had a job to do, and still they created this amazing company and sold it for $33 billion to Google. That's amazing. That we are living in a historical times that will people are gonna talk about them decades away, and we have the privilege to live in these days under those conditions and to witness firsthand what's happening here. And in my opinion, I'm in awe. Like, I'm absolutely amazed about what's happening here.
I just hope they don't stop. I just hope they don't stop before they finish cleaning the Middle East. And again, I'm saying that again. Once we start speaking power and respect, you see suddenly all the Arab countries are suddenly following suit. All of a sudden, Dubai and Saudi Arabia, yeah, we're gonna go and attack them as well. And all of a sudden, Lebanon, no, no, we're gonna get rid of
And
Hezbollah.
Qatar.
In Qatar, yeah, Qatar suddenly Qatar turned on Tucker Carlson. You know, all of a sudden everything is starting to work. As guys, that is, and I said it a million times, power and respect in the Middle East. That is the language. If you don't speak that language, people die. And Israel is finally speaking that language. Because let's face it, these countries, they should have never been in a place that they would even dare threatening Israel. Why would you dare threatening a country that is so much stronger than you? So much. Because that country was smelling weakness, swelling softness. And now they're realizing, okay, 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 we don't play with Israel. Look what they did to Gaza. Look what they did to Iran. I think even Turkey right now is looking shitting their pants. Whoa, maybe we should not mess with Israel. Because think about it. Turkey is right now trying to be the next Iran. But all of a sudden they see how Israel just immediately just erased from existence their entire leadership. So I really hope that the Middle East right now is watching, and I know they're watching. China is watching, Russia is watching, everybody's watching to see how things are going to turn. And so far, America and Israel are just not playing games. They're not playing games. And with all due respect, I have a lot of respect right now for Donald Trump and his cabinet for actually going through with that. Because I know there's a lot of pressure from woke people and on the right and on the left on his government trying to steer it away that they shouldn't attack the regime. I think Witkoff came and said when he came out of the meeting that he was just shocked how the Iranians, the negotiators, were laughing in front of the Americans about how they've been tricking the world all this time, just lying to them in their face, and they believed them. And now they can produce basically 11 nuclear weapons. They were just laughing. So when he realized that, he ran back and he called his government and says, guys, listen, there's literally no way to stop them. These guys are delusional. They're like extremely radical fanatics, religious fanatics, and they are disrespecting us in such a way that they're sitting here laughing in our face about how we believe them as they're lying to us to build a nuclear weapon. So if we don't do anything to stop them, we're done. We're cooked. And I think that's when America realized, wow, Israel, We should have listened to you before. If we don't go now, they will have a nuclear weapon. And everybody's repeating that right now. Rubio, Trump, everything. Yeah, yep, Israel was right. We should have attacked them even before. But they didn't dare because they thought, they have a big air force, big anti-air defense system. Israel just went and took it off for them. Here you go. The road
Yeah,
is
but
on a platter. Finally, do your job.
let's talk about the challenges. And yeah, of course, I agree with you. They are absolutely delusional. And I sent you the videos. I told you that how I told my Telegram channels that I know there's attack is going to come, because every time you go to the TikTok, there's hundreds of those fake accounts sending small, very short AI videos trying to praise Iran and show powers that Iran don't possess, just for the sake of the morale, and this is how they conduct their warfare. They talk much. Nasrallah convinced us even that he basically said that in 7 minutes he could erase all Israel, and people here believed him. People here feared the shit out of Hezbollah and Nasrallah. They are delusional. They are basically stupid, but still they are very
I
dangerous.
didn't. And you know who didn't as well? A lot of the Druze didn't. Remember Gdud Kharif? Gdud Kharif was
Hmm.
the only battalion, the Druze battalion in the Lebanon war that went in, went out, killed the most terrorists, and had not a single person from the IDF killed. Because we
Yes.
understood that language. We understood them. I had no doubt that these guys are just bluffing. But yeah, you're talking about propaganda. You shared with me this hilarious video. Guys, get ready for this. This is Iranian propaganda. I'm gonna put the volume off because it's a stupid song, but look at this. It's like,
No, no, you should put the song because it goes.
it will demonetize the channel.
Yeah, and the
But look
thing
at
that
the,
they have the flag, like, "Hey, come attack here." There's a sign.
yes, and the
Yeah, look at this one. Oh my god.
no, seriously, that's a bunch of it's hard. I don't want to use that word, but it's a bunch of mentally ill people. Like, look, I just look how he comes out of this. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and he's larger than the pitch. Oh my god.
And he's using
Yeah.
anti-gravity gel. But
Hmm.
there's another one, right? There's another one. There's
Yeah, he's with an open cockpit. Yeah.
just for the morale, guys. Here we go. Iran. And she's saying, Habibi, come to Iran. That's
Yeah.
what she's saying in that video.
Tens of thousands of likes on those stupid videos that everyone who has eyes and brain could tell it's a stupid AI video, and people believed it.
Oh, I'm kind of a bit confused about the physics of that airplane, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure there's soldiers, female soldiers who look like that in Iran.
Yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, the more desperate they become, the more ridiculous their AI videos and propaganda will become. Remember that, guys. Remember that. That's always a very good indication to see how things are going bad with these numbskulls. Wow. But anyway, crazy days, huh, man? We're like witnessing in the last few years, we're witnessing history in the making in so many like histories in the making, like things that you'd think like once in a lifetime are all happening. It's like the labors, kind of. Are we getting close to the end of the world? It's like
Yeah,
the
so
Tzirele
okay.
da.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Israel attacked with the US, launched this massive attack on Iran. Iran uh, basically responds by shooting rockets on, are you counting? Cyprus, Syria, Jordan, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Turkey, and Israel. I'm sure I forgot one or two states, but more than 10 states. Why? Why? Why it did that? Dubai
Why
is
they
in
did that?
UAE.
So I think in one way they want to make everybody, well, first of all, they're genocidal maniacs and they feel like they're about to die, and they don't want to go out without a fight. They want to be remembered as a nation who fought until the end, even though how pathetic it is. I think another reason is they want to make all these countries in hope to start pressuring Israel and America to stop. Look what you're doing. You're igniting the whole world into a world war. So they're hoping that by actually just shooting all these countries and scaring them, they'll pressure Israel and America to want to stop the war. And also maybe they're thinking like, okay, these countries are allies with America, we're going to attack them. But that's a reminder for everybody that they're enemies of the West. I think the more important question is not why are they shooting a missile here and missile there, but UK and about other, Emirate countries, is what would have happened if they had a nuclear weapon. They wanted it. They were working to build it. They said they want to have it. Imagine how the picture would have looked different if that regime or any Muslim regime would ever get a nuclear weapon. You should never want to have a Muslim country. Unfortunately, there's one already that have a nuclear. Well, there's two. There's also the UK. But you would never want to have a Muslim country, yeah, that want to have a nuclear weapon because when yeah, it's just, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there,
Uh,
man. But that's just not a
well,
religion. You want to give them a bunch of nukes.
well, first of all, I forgot Oman and Azerbaijan. So those two states and Oman, the negotiations, and they basically were the mediatory between them and the U.S. So that's a shitty move right there. But I think that what they are, gambling on
Mm-hmm.
is buying time and trying to disrupt as much as they can. So, Qatar announced that they are not exporting any gas anymore. So the prices of gas is getting higher, like in 100% in the UK. And that's a huge problem. If you don't have energy to the state, then you are having huge problems. And I think that they are betting on the pressure that is gonna be building on Israel and the US to try to make
Mm-hmm.
them stop, basically, because once Trump said, hey, we're gonna finish that in 4 weeks and or 5 weeks, and me and you both know that it's not gonna end in 4 weeks. No chance. It is such a big country, and it is so huge that I don't see how it's gonna be ending in 4 weeks. I hope it is, but I don't know. So they say, okay, we everything that we need to do is disrupt the global economy and to survive for 4 weeks, and then we can claim a victory in some way or another. And we know with the in the Middle East, like in the Middle East, you will never get the facts confuse a good story, and this is what they are building on, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Someone here said Turkey got nukes. So maybe I just want to sharpen and clarify that, guys. No, Turkey doesn't have nukes as far as we know. America and NATO bases have some nukes apparently stored in Turkey, but that is not for the Turkish to use. It's not in the hand of Turkey, it's in the hand of NATO. So that's supposed to be US ready to launch missiles and bombers. That's as far as I know. So Turkey does not have officially a nuke, and I think the less Muslim countries will ever have a nuke, the better. Just for the simple fact that the Islam still wish to invade and conquer the world. Christian countries have abandoned that dream. Druze don't want to do that. Jews don't want to do that. Christians in general just don't want to do that. The only religion right now in the world that is still trying forcefully to conquer and enslave the planet is the Muslims. Nazis wanted to do that before, but they got stopped. Islam was ignored. That's what happened. That's history, guys. Islam had very similar views and ideologies like Nazism. That's why the Mufti from Palestine came and met with him. That's why so many people in many Muslim countries admire Hitler. And when The West went, and that's what Inat Wilf said so nicely when she was in our podcast. Remember, we invited her in Hebrew several times to our show. Brilliant lady. She came and she said the West was so focused on denazification of Germany that they kind of chose to ignore Islam because there were just a bunch of people with like camels and donkeys in a tent. And say, okay, these guys have really fanatic religious views and humanitarian values, but just ignore them. But ignoring them didn't work. Now they grow bigger, and now you start welcoming them into your countries, and they're getting citizens in your country, citizenships, and they're getting making children and growing. And all of a sudden, you're seeing that they're taking from inside, and these countries are just plunging down to terror, to crime, to poverty, and it's statistics are literally out there. You don't need statistics even. Just walk in the street. Go in the street in some of these Muslim neighborhoods in European countries and just see for yourself. Go and see. And whoever like have any doubt, he's either a liar or delusional. Like you just can't ignore it. I have it in Germany. You go to some of these places, like just garbage everywhere, and women are covered like they're in Afghanistan. Crime is at the ceiling. And if you dare to say you're Israeli, you get stabbed. If you say you're American, you get spit out. Like, isn't that enough? Like, shouldn't that like really? Oh, okay, maybe that's not working. Maybe let's send them back to where they came from.
Yeah. Well, and just to add on that, my 2 cents on it, that Pakistan is witnessing a real civil unrest, a lot of demonstrations, like I guess more than 100 people died trying to attack the US Embassy in
Yeah,
Pakistan. And you would
and
say,
Iraq also. Yeah,
yeah, and Iraq as well. So, and you say, what the hell? Like, Pakistan is a Sunni country. Why you are so angry of killing Khamenei? So they have a lot of Shia, all right. But I think that in their guts, they know that a world that doesn't tolerate a Shia regime is not going to tolerate a Pakistani Muslim regime. And that's a huge bunker. Like, for me, trying to see what is the end game of that, because, we thought it's only Israel and Iran problem, and now we are in some sort of global Middle Eastern fight here. But a lot of states, more than dozen states, are in active war now, and you can never tell how it's gonna end up or evolve to. So those times are, although we are seeing a huge war conduct from the part of Israel and the US, but still it's the uncertainty of what's happening and how it's gonna
hmm
roll in. For me, it is still scary.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think to wrap it up, Khalifa, we are witnessing right now something big is happening in Lebanon, guys. It looks like Israel is planning to go and finish the job, and they're sending, direct message to people in very, very key locations in Lebanon: get the heck out of there. Like literally, evacuate the area. They're not playing games. Get out of there if you don't want to die. So I'm wondering what's gonna be the next step. Are they gonna bomb the living hell out of these places? Are they gonna, I don't know, what are they gonna do exactly? But it looks like they're planning something big, and it looks like they're not playing games anymore. And the same thing in Iran, and we're seeing a different Middle East unfolding in front of our eyes. Different one. Undoubtedly, that's one thing for sure. It's going to be a
Quick
different one.
question. Um, a ground operation in Iran, do you think the US is gonna do that or not?
I know what they're going to do, and
What they
I'm
are
quite
gonna
surprised that they're doing it. But they're they understand that they can't win that war without ground operation. So special forces, we know for sure. Special forces are inside. That's part of the deal. Mossad, Air Force, Special Forces, they all, CIA, that's how they work. You got to do it. But ground forces, what they're doing, they're arming the Kurds in Iraq. I don't know if you heard about that.
I
And the
did.
Kurds in Iraq even said, give us weapon. We want to go and kill these effers, these goat
Yeah.
lickers. So I think America is doing what they did with the Kurds against ISIS, arming them and telling them go and fight the war for us. It's for you as well. But the question is, will they betray them again after, just like they did in Syria? That's the big question. Because in
Yeah,
Syria, that's exactly what they did. They armed them, they trained them, and then they betrayed them. Literally betrayed them like for the hands of Al Qaeda and ISIS even. So I think the Kurds probably are aware of that. That's why they have this song that says, "We had this guy, what was his name? That friends of yours that you brought, brilliant guy, Itai Engel."
mm, a triangle. Yeah.
When he came and he said, that the Kurds they have the song, "The mountain is our only friend," because
Mm-hmm.
they've learned
Yeah.
that the mountain is the only one that never betrayed them, and everyone else betrayed them. But America is again now realizing they need boots on the ground. The Kurds are eager to go and fight. Give them weapons, let them do it. And I think that's good. Let the Kurds go and just, finish the job there. They're fierce fighters.
Yeah, well, I think there's only two outcomes that we are facing here. It's either in some magical way you will have the son of Reza Pahlavi, or Reza Pahlavi is gonna come from in United airplane and land in Tehran, and everybody will just declare him as the king of Iran, and somehow he will wrap it up and bring it back to what it used to be, or absolute mayhem, which is the most, um, how do you call it? How do you say it? It is what most probably is what gonna happen. But in terms of boots on the ground, I think that the US must have some presence to secure the Hormuz area so that ships will pass freely. And I think those are the options that we are going to see. And yes, the Kurds, there are the Baluchis and the Azeris. There are a lot of minorities in Iran, even Arabs. And the Arabs are
Listen,
sitting in the richest places in oil and gas, by the way.
mhm. Anyone that will join right now Team USA and Team Israel to fight the Iranians is going to war with a +5 against radical Shias and +20 against jihadist idiots in the desert. That's literally like you just got buffed by the strongest air force and secret services in the world. They will help you. They will stand there. They will help you. They will guide you. So that like for that's why for the Iranians as well. That is the time. That is literally the time. It's sad that they had to pay the price for the last few weeks. Heavy, heavy price. But for that blood not to be spilled in vain, now is the time to go and claim that country. Once America and Israel are done pummeling the regime down, go and take it. Go and take it and never give it away again. Never give it
Mhm.
away to radical Islam or in general to Islam. You shouldn't. Iran should not be a Muslim country. Should not. It didn't do them good. But anyway, I don't know. It's getting late. I know where you are and where I am. Guys,
Yeah.
we just wanted to jump in, me and Khalifa, and said we have to talk to you about Lebanon, keep you updated. Go and check Khalifa's Telegram channel. He's doing live updates there all the time, constant videos that he translates. And he have a lot of sources. Telegram actually tells you sometimes faster than most mainstream media what is happening because there is channels like his and others who are just on top of it. So go and check his Telegram channel, and me and Khalifa will try to give you more and more update about what's happening in the Middle East, in Iran, in Lebanon, in Syria as we go. Just a reminder, we're both Druze, both Israelis, so we know these things inside out, including the culture and the language. And we also have friends and family all around the Middle East, which makes it even more, I would say, reliable and authentic. What we're telling you, we're not making it up just because it's viral. We actually know it. And do you want to close the show, Khalifa?
Just to say, Hebrews and Shebrews, it's been a pleasure. Always fun and great time spending with you and have those talks. And shalom, everybody. Let's hope that we are bringing it as fast as possible and God bless the US and God bless Israel and the
Amen, brother.
IDF. Yeah.
And the Druze. And the Druze.
Yeah,
Amen, brother.
Herbigi Druze, Herbigi Kurds, all the shenanigans, you know.
ايوه عليك. ايوه عليك. يلا باي باي.
Bye.